Wicket keeping was a full-time job, something not to be joked with. I think Sunil Gavaskar was the greatest Indian batsman I ever saw. We got 20 rupees per day. Like Rahul, Rahul Dravid, when he started, a lot of people told me he will not succeed. Ek kaan se suno, ek kaan se nikalo. Yes, yes. It can always backfire. That taught everybody a lesson not to go to the extremes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Indranil, your host. We have Mr. Daljit Singh, the former curator of BCCI, with us. Hello, sir. How are you?
Thank you. All well.
So, what's happening? I'm sorry to keep you away from your gym session, your running session. This is the time you go to PCA Stadium and do your stuff. I'm sorry to keep you away from it.
Not to worry. The moment I finish with you, I'll be off to the stadium.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And so,
it's very close.
It's
very close to our house.
Yeah, yeah. So, how have you been in last 4 months or so? You mean the lockdown, and it's been like stadium, home, stadium, that kind of affair with you?
Yeah, like everybody else, going out is restricted, but I managed to go to the stadium.
Yeah.
I work honorary there.
Yeah.
The last 26 years. So it's a blessing. It's a big blessing to be able to go to the ground, and it's a big blessing.
So I was checking your record other day. 87. 87 first class games, 200 dismissals, over 4,000 runs. So I wonder why you didn't play for India. I mean, those days I know it was competition used to be huge. You played for every possible team. North Punjab, Bihar, services. East zone, North zone. So only thing which was missing was not playing for India. What went wrong during your playing days? You did everything right.
You see, as far as the competition is concerned, earlier there used to be Farooq Engineer, Buddhi Kundaram, Inderjeet Singh ji. But the year I had an actual chance to go to West Indies in 1971,
a
very good year in Duleep Trophy and a Ranji Trophy.
Yeah.
Two of my assistants went. Krishnamurthy, who was my assistant in services, and Gigi Boy, who was my deputy in East Zone.
Okay.
So that year was the best chance. It didn't happen. But I never let it overwhelm me. Okay. Never brooded. Never let my life be affected. Because a game is paramount, and I am happy and blessed that I thought it that way.
Absolutely. I mean, the kind of example you set as a player at the domestic cricket was really, people still talk about it. I remember 75, 76 or 74, 75 when you captained Bihar in the Ranji Trophy final.
That was a high point of my Ranji Trophy career.
Yeah.
75, 76.
75, 76, yeah.
It was a final against Mumbai.
Yeah.
And I got man of the match for the final, though we lost.
Yeah, I mean, can you tell us about that particular game? I mean, you were playing against which opposition?
Mumbai.
Okay, and that team?
That time it was Bombay.
Okay, and who was the captain of Bombay that time?
Ashok Mankad.
Wow.
They had a full array of players. They had everybody in their ranks. They were very powerful. We had a good run up to the finals. We beat Delhi in quarter-final. We beat Karnataka, Mysore that time, in semi-finals. So it was a good run.
Yeah.
But we didn't put up enough runs in the first innings.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, to reach there and to take Bihar to the finals, that was a high point in my Ranji Trophy career.
So after that, when did you come to Punjab? I mean, started playing for Punjab eventually. When was that? Which year was that?
You see, I played for services, 1960-61.
Okay.
Then I played for Northern Punjab in 62
Yeah.
because of the Indo-Chinese War. The services did not take part in any sports because of national emergency.
Okay.
So services team did not play Ranji Trophy.
Okay.
I got permission to play for my home state on birth qualification, North Punjab.
Yeah.
So Northern Punjab back to services next year. Then when I left services, I played for DDCA Delhi 1 year,
Okay.
and from Delhi, it is a story I'll tell you later. I got a job in Tata's in Bihar,
Okay.
1965. So 65 to 79, 14 years I played for Bihar. Overall, 19 years of Ranji Trophy.
My goodness. Yeah. That's quite a number. That's quite a number.
Considering, see, uh, that time fitness, etc., was never a team activity. It was individual.
Yeah.
But somehow God has been kind. From the very beginning, I realized with my limited talent that I had to work harder than others. Moreover, I was a wicket keeper. I had to work harder than others. I set standards for myself as a wicket keeper. First over in a match, and last hour, last over in a game, I should be the same physically, mentally. So you
Absolutely.
really had to train very hard. So I
Absolutely.
worked hard. It was a lonely life as a player. Not many players, not many players trained that way like you have these days. So it was a lonely effort. There used to be an off season. I was in Bihar off season, football season during monsoons. So I used
Yeah.
to play football, train during the off season. So it was like that. It was very rewarding to stay in the game.
So you also worked with the former Prime Minister of India, Lal Bahadur Shastri. So what role were you playing that time?
See, when I was in the services,
Yeah.
I was approached. I wanted to get out of the Navy on a premature retirement plan. So uh, that time, uh, Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri's son, Harikishan Shastri, he raised a cricket team, and somebody approached me to play for his team in Sheesh Mahal cricket,
Okay.
Lucknow. So I went, we won the tournament. He asked me, what are your plans? So I told him I want to get out of the Navy. And my papers are already in. It's a matter of time. So he said, when you are out, you come and join us. So I
Okay.
got out in a few months, and I went and joined Prime Minister's staff. I was there. I used to stay at 10 Janpath.
Oh.
I had a room in 10. I had a room in 10 Janpath next to their house,
Yeah.
and uh, unfortunately, he died within 10 months of my joining.
Oh.
And during that period, there used to be these National Defense Fund matches. There was an Indo-Pak war in 65. So Harikishan Shastri ji took a team to Jamshedpur, Bihar. Prime Minister 11 versus Bihar Governors 11 in
Okay.
Jamshedpur. It was a big crowd. I had a good game, hit few sixes. So Tata's managing director, Mr. Rusi Modi, approached me. He said, I want to raise a good Bihar team. I'm looking after Bihar cricket. Why don't you and some of your young friends come over? We'll give you good careers. So at that time, I didn't think much of it. But when Shastriji expired untimely, I approached Tata's and they gave me a good job. They said, you work as well as play. That really impressed me. Just playing was not enough. One must work. So I worked there for 22 years, became a senior executive divisional head, and enjoyed my life, enjoyed my work there. So that is how it happened.
And under you, one of the rare occasions when Bihar played the Ranji Trophy final, the 75, 76 season, as we talked about.
Yeah, we used to be a weakish team. Then at that time, only one team would go through to Ranji Trophy knockout from each zone.
Okay.
Later on, it became two. So each zone was Bihar, Bengal, Assam, Odisha. That time there was no Tripura. So
Yeah.
we had to compete against Bengal mostly, and we
Okay.
started qualifying. I tried to instill the belief, self-belief in the players that we were good enough to compete at every level. So we were qualifying, and 1 year we went to the finals.
You also played cricket at a time. We had so many legends of the game playing around. You know, around that time. 70s, 60s, 70s. So that must have been quite a pleasing sight. Playing, rubbing shoulders with those greats like Tiger Pataudi sir and the Mankad brothers, and you named. I mean, can you just run us through those days? Those golden days you had at the domestic cricket.
Every era has got its charm and great players and everything that attracts people. When I started, it was in 60, 61.
Yeah.
Chandu Borde, Pankaj Roy, that era, Salim Durrani, then Tiger Pataudi. I played with him in Delhi. I played against him against Delhi, played against him in North Zone. And then I was very fortunate to play with the likes of Sunil Gavaskar. He he started in 71 and 71 for India, and then I retired in 79. It so happened that Bihar had so many matches against Mumbai those days. Every second year or every year we will have a knockout fixture against Bombay only. So I played a lot against Sunil Gavaskar, Vang Sarkar, Solkar, Ajit Wadekar, Sudhir Naik, Shivalkar, those players. And
It's lovely.
for other states, Bishan Bedi, or Karnataka, Gundapa Vishwanath, great players, outstanding players. It was a different era. The game was different. The skills was different, and they were truly great players.
What I really enjoyed hearing these stories is that those big players always went back to domestic cricket, and they played domestic cricket. That's something which we don't get to see these days, which is slightly unfortunate.
You see, one must be realistic. Earlier, there would be a test series 1 in 3 years.
Yeah.
Then came a time there would be 15, 16 test matches in a year.
Yeah.
Then ODI cricket came, then T20 came, and then IPL came, and all kind of game. The players were overworked, overwhelmed because of the popularity of the game. And in India, everybody wanted to see players slowly opted out, and even the board allowed the Indian players, those who played for India, off time from domestic cricket. But I think TV made a lot of difference. Domestic games were being earlier, one would only see international cricket on TV, but later on, from 84 onwards, when the color television came to India, they started showing domestic cricket also. So that made cricket a household game, household name, and people watched it on the telly. Though people didn't come to the ground, but television made a big difference. But senior players, India players, stayed away because I think it was a compulsion at that time. They couldn't have fitted everything in.
So you've seen it all. The way cricket grew in this country. From 0 to 100, wherever it is today. It's quite a journey for you.
I must tell you some players which left a mark on my mind. I think Sunil Gavaskar was the greatest Indian batsman I ever saw. Though cricket is a statistics-driven game,
Yeah.
and Sachin has the numbers, he was truly another fantastic player. But considering the era, the conditions, the opposition, and the state of the strength of the Indian team at that time, putting everything together, no helmets, each
Yeah.
team having fast bowlers, West Indies playing four, New Zealand having Headley, Chatfield, England having John Snow, Chris Holt, Hendricks, Australia having Lily, Simpson, Lily, Thompson, Pascoe, Hogg. So every country had the best of fast bowlers in those days. And the pitches were what they were, uncovered pitches. So I think Gavaskar's achievement without helmet was fantastic, unbeatable. He got runs in every corner of the world, and the opposition only wanted to get one man out at that time. That was Gavaskar, and to some extent Gundappa Vishwanath, who was also a remarkable player. So I was very blessed to play with him, rub shoulders with him, though he was one generation younger than me. But I am a great admirer of Sunil Gavaskar, the way he has handled his life after retirement, the way he is given back to the game. Wonderful. Other great players I remember, Lakshman, whom I coached, Rahul Dravid, whom I coached,
Yes.
and
Anil
I know
Kumble,
Anil Kumble, Anil
Shin,
Kumble.
Venkateswara.
As a coach, when I talk about my time as a coach, I'll tell you their names. But these are some players of that time. They come to my mind straight away. Kumble and all, I was a coach, but Gavaskar and all were there when I played.
Yeah, but I mean, you had a really successful domestic career. Then you ventured into pitch making, and you also did a lot of coaching in Karnataka. So can you tell us about those Karnataka days when you saw these young guys, Kumbles and the
Before,
Dravids and Srinaths and the Venkatesh Prasads?
before I move on, uh, I was a wicketkeeper batsman. I prided myself in wicket-keeping skills. So
Yeah,
it disappoints me a little bit that young keepers are not working much on keeping techniques, because in shorter form you're happy to be standing back most of the time and just wait for the overs to be over. But in a Ranji Trophy or in a 5-day game, wicket keeping skills, technique become very important. And I was very fortunate that I learned from the beginning uh, what wicket keeping technique was. There was
yeah.
a book in college library called Behind the Stumps by
Okay,
Godfrey Evans of England. It
okay.
was destiny for me that I got hold of that book, and I read, I still remember those 6 basic fundamentals that he talked about. So I worked on them all by myself. So wicket-keeping technique and skills were very important for me. And I held a Ranji Trophy record for 15 years of maximum dismissals in Ranji
Yeah,
Trophy. Then, of course, the number of games became too much, and then a lot of other people have taken over. But when in my era for 15 years, I held that record as the highest wicket taker, the dismissals as a keeper. So wicket keeping was a full-time job. I mean, something not to be joked with, something you have to be very serious about. Then, because I worked in Tata's, they were great promoters of the game. So once I retired from the game in 1979, my last game was in Wankhede Stadium, Bihar versus Mumbai.
okay.
And I was very fortunate to score 100 in my last game at
Wow.
Wankhede Stadium. And in the second innings, when we followed on, I was 45 not out and walked away from the ground, thanking Lord for that, and decided that life could not be more kind to me than that day. So I retired in 1979. After that, Tata said, "Don't be lost to the game, though you are working very hard." They sent me to England to become a coach, qualify as a coach in MCC. So I
Okay.
qualified as a coach in MCC. When I came back, I didn't straight away go to Ranji Trophy because I had those. Some of the players were still playing; those were my colleagues. So I didn't want to coach them. So I started with under 22 Bihar team coaching, and then took over Bihar. Some Bihar boys played for India also, like Randir Singh and others. Then I was the divisional head of social welfare of Tata. They had a very big program of social tribal welfare. A friend of mine, Mr. Ashok Khosla, who had his background education at Harvard, he came once and he met me. He said, Daljit, all your life you had worked for corporate sector. Let us go to the rural areas and do our own thing. He gave me a program. I was very impressed. The program was Development Alternatives, working on alternate technologies for the villages. So I left Tata's, I joined Development Alternatives, and I was posted in Bangalore to start a regional chapter there. So when I went there, I had no intentions of getting into cricket. One day in the market, Gundappa Vishwanath met me. He said, "What are you doing here?" So he said, no, you come to the stadium. So like that, he took me to the secretary, Mr. Nagaraj, and they said, why don't you come? Our team is losing to everybody. That time, Karnataka, all the stalwarts had retired one after another. Vishwanath, Prasanna, Sudhakar Rao, Chandrasekhar, Krishna Kumar, everybody had retired one after another. So they said, you come, we are losing to small teams. We have a very young team, they have no direction. So I said, my methods are slightly different. They said, no, we will benefit from it. So I agreed. So I was very fortunate, a very young bunch. Srinath, Kumble, Dravid, Venkatesh Prasad, Sunil Joshi, Doda Ganesh, David Johnson, all in one group at that time, very eager young group. So I used to take them for a run to Cubbon Park, lead them from the front. I was 48, 49 years old, and I used to lead them from the front. Two runs in Cubbon Park a week. Wow. And every morning fielding and training, every afternoon net practice. So they're all like, I was the Pied Piper, they were all following me. It was that relationship. Wonderfully keen kids. They were not exposed to the methods that I introduced. And it became a champion team later on. You can see the record. They won 4 times in a row. In at that time, Mr. I.S. Bindra came to Bangalore for a BCCI meeting. And somebody sent a word that Mr. Bindra wants to meet you. I knew him from Delhi when he was in the Rashtrapati Bhavan as Gyani Zail Singh's staff. I had met him once. So I went to meet him. He said, we are making a new stadium. Why don't you come home? You have been away from Punjab for so long. Go come back to your roots. We can, make use of somebody like you. So I told him I had a good job. I'm a regional manager. He said, don't worry, we'll look after you. So I took some time, and 6 months later came to Mohali. He got me as an administrative chief in Punjab Communication Limited. And all the Punjab young players were there. I had assisted Punjab in 92-93 when they won the Ranji Trophy in Ludhiana against Maharashtra. I was invited to be with the team for 10 days. So from there I came and I joined Punjab and been in Mohali. So Mr. Bindra said, apart from looking after the team, we want to make a world-class ground. Because Indian pitches, Indian reputation is there for slow, low pitches. We want a bouncy, hard pitch, which should be known to the world, and a good outfield where people can dive and slide and run. So like that I came and I joined PCA. Not PCA, I joined the job in 1993. Thanks to Mr. Bindra.
No, and
so I must tell you, as we talk, if some young people listen to this recording, when I started as a player, no money at all. We got to the finals, 175-76. We got 20 rupees per day, laundry allowance for the final. And we got a blazer. We wore it with a lot of honor. And then I became a coach In 93, no money. No, I became a coach, sorry, earlier than that. In 81, I became a coach. No money for coach. Then I started curatorship in 93, no money. So, I mean, it was an era, you just did it for the love of it. I mean, it had its own charm, and I'm glad I did it. Uh, Money came much later. And I'm very glad for the players of today that they are well off, their futures are secure, they are paid well, they have good incentives. I'm very happy for that.
So
So,
tell
as
us
a
about.
coach,
Sorry, as a coach,
yeah, as a coach starting in Bangalore, putting them more, they had the skills. I had to tell them to train hard for getting fitter players would make better players. They,
Yeah.
you could concentrate better. Your self-confidence would be up. As a team, you would feel together. You would feel all gelling together. So started, and they were young. Nobody questioned my authority. They like to follow me. These young people. So when I came to Punjab, there was Sidhu. UV had not started. UV was 14, 15 years old. Paji was also just starting. So Punjab also had a good side. We had won previously. So starting in Punjab, then along with that, I started doing curatorship, sitting with Malis, honorary job, of course, because I had an office job. Punjab Cricket Association. Those days, associations didn't have money, so there was no question of charging money or getting paid. It was just for the love of it. So 93, then for 95, 95, 96, Punjab went to the finals of Ranji Trophy. I was the manager. I was the coach. So we went to Bombay, had a good run, very close played final. We lost. And thereafter, Mr. Bindra said, Daljit, you concentrate only on the ground. We are making a mark in the world. Because 93, 94, the first test match was played in Mohali.
Yeah.
It was South Africa. No, it was West Indies versus India. And the pitch became the talking point because Manoj Prabhakar got hit
Yeah.
through the helmet on the nose.
Yeah.
So the pitch, it became a talking point. So it happened on the fourth day evening. So like that, then I concentrated on ground and pitches. Then BCCI made a committee. I got involved in that. Then I started. You want to ask me anything more about coaching?
No, I just want to know how was young Dravid. We know
Okay.
what he
You
became
see,
actually in World
earlier,
Cup.
earlier BCCI used to have coaching programs, annual coaching program for under 16, under 19 teams.
Yeah.
And these would be held in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So for 2 years, I was made the chief coach of under 16, under 19 teams. And I remember young players like Lakshman, he was the most outstanding at that time. Sadanand Vishwanath and all these young players, Rahul Dravid, they all came through the ranks on those camps. So I did that stint, and from there was a camp in 91, 91, 92, I think 91, 92. Azharuddin leading India to England. The camp was held. You can't think of a 2-week camp for Indian team now, but it happened at that time in Bangalore. A 2-week camp in Bangalore. I was one of the coaches for the Indian team. So preparing the Indian team for English tour. So that was the coaching experience, very rewarding. And I never pushed any player for uh, bookish knowledge and bookish technique. I try to build on the strength of the player. Like Rahul, Rahul Dravid, when he started, a lot of people told me his bat is coming from outside, it's a crooked back lift, he will not succeed. So I had a good chat with him. I thought if you can manage the incoming ball well, he said I had no problem. So we started testing him in the nets. In fact, he played the incoming ball better than any other ball. So he had adjusted so well, and he did so well with that back lift. So that is what I concentrated on. Same with bowling actions. If it is a classic action, fine. If you had your own way and got the best out of it, so be it. So like that, coaching was very rewarding and fulfilling, and I'm glad I did it. It got me close to the players. It
Yeah.
created a bond for life. Even today, when I meet them, they talk to me like a guru. It is very satisfying.
So 22 years you have looked after the Indian pitches. That 22 yards you've looked after 22 years. You have worked across, all over the country, and worked with so many captains of India. So how satisfying was that experience? Working with so many captains. And those captains who were demanding, asking for turning tracks and things like that. So how did you manage to keep them, at bay and maintain that balance?
Over a period, things changed. Things are very different today than how it was when I started. Some were very demanding. I found out quickly that a curator was a very lonely man. Once things went wrong, it was your head.
Yeah.
Once the match got over, everybody, if they had to blame you, they would blame you. If it went on well, nobody would talk about it.
Yeah.
So you really had to be very balanced. I realized that listening to the team demands, एक कान से सुनो, एक कान से निकालो. Yes. No point fighting, because if you started arguing with them, they'll report you to the board. This man is not cooperating. He's this, he's that. So I started saying, yes, let me see. I will try my best. Don't worry, we'll see.
Yeah.
Like that. But when things came from the board and the officials, then of course I was working for the board.
Yeah.
But all the same, over the years you learn, experience teaches you never to go for extremes.
Never to go for extremes. Yeah.
It's a result-oriented pitch. As a home curator, I want home team to win. That is the best. Home advantage should be there. It's not only in India; it's all over the world.
Absolutely.
Everybody, when Indians go abroad, every country is giving them 12 grass pitches, green tops, So everybody works on that, but one has to keep a balance. So later on, when I started teaching young curators, this is what I told: don't go to extreme ever. Though I was guilty myself of doing it sometime, but that teaches you. But with the Indian team, captains are captains. One can understand their anxiety. They're very hyped up. But some coaches, one has to be careful about. Their jobs are at stake. They're very hyper. But I must tell you, people like MS Dhoni, people like Rahul Dravid, now people like Virat Kohli, they don't want extremes from you. They don't want extremes. Then they don't want to push you also. They'll discuss with you and they'll be happy if they get something close to what they have in mind. Virat, in fact, rarely talks directly about the pitch condition to the curator. He leaves it to the coach and the management. And so I had no problem because I was a player of my times. They respected that, so maybe that helped. So I never had that problem dealing with captains.
Absolutely. In fact, when Virat meets you, he greets you by touching your feet, and that's the kind of respect you have earned all throughout your life, which is a remarkable thing. But sir, you're talking about extreme 2017 Pune Test match against Australia.
Okay. Can we finish off Virat first? Yeah.
Yes.
You see, I'm only a humble servant of the game. Nothing very big. If he respects the senior, it is his pedigree. It is his upbringing, sanskar, as you say in our way.
Yeah.
It is his good sanskar.
Yeah.
So it is to his credit that he respects seniors. I'm just a humble servant of him. What else are you asking?
No, I'm saying about 2017 Test match in Pune against Australia. You know, when we did something extreme, prepared a turning track, and we lost so badly, and that was one of those games when we really took it to the extreme. But coming to that, you know, I mean, has India moved on from playing on turning tracks? Are they still looking to play on turning tracks? What is the
You
psyche right
see,
now?
in Pune, it was the first match of the series, and it was built to be the Test Championship series and all that.
Yeah,
Uh, the players, as I said, I stopped listening to the players. But when it comes from somewhere else, then let us finish them off in very first Test match, make a pitch where India has a better chance. And as it happened,
yeah,
we scored. I remember the scores: 103 in one innings, 105 in another innings. Two innings, India scored 103 and 105. Australia scored close to 300. Steve Smith got 100, got a century. There were
yeah,
two half centuries. So they
yeah,
made, I mean, best use of conditions. It can always backfire. Now, I think that taught everybody a lesson not to
yeah,
go to the extremes.
yeah,
Later on, as I said, Virat and Dhoni, they are not Rahul. No, they won't demand things like that. No, they won't demand. Once in a while, if some demand comes from somewhere, as I said, if it didn't come from the right quarters, one can bas jane do. There's a sunam, there's a jane do. Uh, Otherwise, most of the captains are very sensible in their approach, and they realized what I must tell that all curators, when I teach them, when I tell them, we all want home advantage. We all want to be popular. We all want to be on the right side of our own people. We want India to win. But remember, there is a match referee.
yeah,
There is an ICC match referee who rates the pitch and the playing condition. There are international umpires who give their report about the playing condition. So don't get to that extreme where you get docked off, the match gets called off, the centers gets reported. So those things we have to keep in mind. So things are much better, much more balanced today than earlier days.
absolutely. And you know, balance doesn't happen only from the captain, because Virat was the captain in 2017 when Australia were touring India. But you know, even the support staff need to be little balanced in deciding what they're deciding. That is very important, isn't it?
In the nail, you hit it on the head. Let's leave it there.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, it's you have seen so much of cricket, you know, and when I talk about Mohali, you know, what a wicket. I mean, it's been sporting wicket all throughout my life. Last 20 years that I've been a journalist, I've never seen anything going wrong in Mohali. I mean, that's a magical place, and batsmen they get runs, bowlers they get their bounce. Everyone is happy when the match ends. You know, everyone gets their runs. So that's a what's the secret of Mohali wicket? How do you look after it? You look after Mohali wicket as your baby.
In the nail, I would like to talk to overall picture of Indian cricket. Can we do that now, or should I talk with about Mohali and finish off?
Mohali. Yeah, you want to
Okay,
know about
okay.
Mohali? Yeah,
93 when I came, you see, over the years you realize earlier in India there was nothing very scientific about it. There were no precedences, there were no courses, there were no seniors to tell you. You know, it was a groundsman. It was no curators. I think the most famous was Sita Raman of New Delhi. You know, uh, I mean there was nothing to go by. So I realized over the period that it is the soil, basically the pitch soil, that decides on the character of the pitch. Later on, of course, is the preparation methods. Over the years, we have learned more about rolling patterns, about watering. So when we came to Mohali, it so happened that one match had earlier been played at Ludhiana, Punjab versus Maharashtra finals. I was there, and it was a sporting pitch, seamers pitch, seamed for 4 days. The match was over in 4 days, I think, 5 days. So the soil was from Ludhiana, a village called Pamail, outside Ludhiana, 20 kilometers. So when we wanted to lay Mohali pitch, it was decided, let us get the Ludhiana soil. So we were very lucky. We got about 80 odd trucks of that soil. There was a canal, old, deserted, old, abundant canal. There was no water in that. So we got that soil from there. I got it tested. So that was a big help. And Mr. Bindra was one who liked green, bouncy pitches. So when anybody came to me for a turner, I would go and tell him, "Sir, ye bol raha hai." He said, "Aap apna pitch banao, don't worry, you do your job." So I would just look the other way. If somebody said, "I'll say, let me look into it." So that in the beginning, that soil really helped. That was a heavy clay soil with smectite element in it. See, clay is the smallest part in the soil. It is 0.002. You know, uh, smectite is split of that 0.001. So if you get the smallest of particle, that means it holds the water more number of times, millions of times. It becomes harder. So with our idea of grass, I somehow have it in the back of my mind as that is one of my contributions to Indian cricket, that we started match pitch, BCCI match pitch with grass. That is how it should be. So grass and good soil and preparation methods and the association giving you that encouragement and background backing. So it helped because Mohali gained a reputation very quickly. I remember first inning scores on first morning. Match would hardly go to 4 days, 3 days. No, it was 2.5 days, 3 days maximum. Seamers pitches, seamers pitches, seamers pitches. So, but over the years, I must confess, I'm grateful and happy. People talk of Mohali pitches, but over the years, things have changed quite a lot. First class pitch. Now that I read a lot, I'm teaching also. 10 to 12 years is the maximum life.
Okay.
It should be relayed preferably after 10 years, definitely after 12 years. We haven't relayed our pitches after 93. Okay. So 26 years. Because there was no other stadium in for behalf of Punjab cricket in and around. So we had to manage. So we learned off-season renovation. This is the time we have just renovated the pitches now, July, August. Scrap, scarify, get that kind of machinery and rejuvenate the pitches and keep it going. But it is not the same what it used to be. But I think it still helps, produces result-oriented pitches. That is what.
Absolutely.
It is very important for me. Whenever I'm in town, I must go to the ground every day.
Yes.
Every day I go to the ground. Though I don't work as an employee, but I must go to the ground. And there's very good staff. Our ground staff is one of the best. We have excellent curators. So all put together, management takes pride in playing conditions. All put together, Mohali has come up well.
And that's the reason, the standard you have set, and that's the reason the coaches and the captains of India over so many years always give you a call before making their playing 11.
Not always. Sometimes they will ask me, especially some coaches will ask me, how will the pitches play? Do we play 2 spinners or do we play 1 spinner? Or things like that. Just a discussion. I must tell you, my most satisfying thing that I have done in cricket is that India today has trained curators. When I came, we used to be Malis. Yeah. Slowly, through the backing of people in the board, I must talk about them before we end. People like Ratnakar Shetty and all that. We started we started workshops for groundsmen and ground in charges. There used to be no curator. And all associations started sending. It used to happen in June in Bombay. Then pre-season seminars for groundsmen and seminar. Uh, Over the years, in 1997, when Mr. Dalmia was a secretary, he made the first ground and pitch committee. Kapil Dev as chairman, and I was one of the 5 people in the committee.
Yes.
So that 1997 onwards. So from that time, we started seminars and coaches. In 2012, we could convince the BCCI that there are qualified coaches, there are qualified umpires. Why not qualified curators? So they asked us to design a course. First, they thought they might call foreigners, but then board were very confident of our ability, our team's ability. We wrote our own manual and we did our own course, 3-week course in Mohali, first certification course for curators. From that time onwards, 6 curators courses have been held. Today we have qualified curators, those who know about soils. Then you have to pass that to be on the BCCI committee. You have to pass that to be looking after the association grounds. Then we introduced modern equipment. Mr. Bindra used to play golf. I also played some golf. We saw this modern state-of-the-art equipment on golf courses. Modern scarifying machines, dethatchers, verticutters, and things like that, and multi-mowing machines. So we got imported machine. BCCI put out a global tender, and we got from all over the world tenders. And imported equipment was given to every association in the world and make a big difference. Trained curators, imported equipment, testing of soils, laying of pitches. Earlier, people were putting bricks, people were putting all kind of things down below before laying a pitch. We started a simple method of scientific research method of laying three-layer pitches. So today, any pitch that is laid by a BCCI curator is a 3-layer pitch. So through all these things, the outfields improved. I remember people were afraid of diving and sliding on Indian grounds.
Yes.
In fact, I don't want to take his name. One fellow hurt his shoulder so badly, hitting on a bumpy, hard ground, that he lost his whole season. He still talks about it. So we made grounds, how to lay ground, how to aerate grounds, how to keep them soft but fast. So all this has been over the year a contribution which has helped Indian domestic cricket. The Ranji Trophy result-oriented pitches, the quality of Ranji Trophy grounds and pitches, under 19, under 23 matches, BCCI matches on good outfields. So over the years, this has been the condition, and I think it is showing in our international team. The bench strength that Indian team has because of the good domestic cricket setup, very good playing conditions all over India. I think that has been the biggest contribution of people like my era curators who make sure that we have the best of playing conditions which can compare with the best in the world. So that is how I think it has reached here today. Earlier, there would be a first day turner. If somebody wanted a result, they would create a first day turner. So we stopped all that. Board agreed to our suggestion. To post neutral curators. Like Delhi curator will make Punjab pitch, Punjab curator will make Himachal pitch, like that, all over India. Neutral curators under the supervision of BCCI match referee. So it made a huge difference. All those howlers are not there anymore. And there are more result-oriented matches. More results are achieved over 4 days cricket. So this has been a positive change which has helped Indian cricket. And I'm very happy I've been associated with that.
And BCCI also played a huge role in supporting whatever you asked for, equipments, support staff, be it starting one-time benefit funds to all the groundsmen, getting them, putting a system where you can put the money directly to their bank accounts. All those things. BCCI has also evolved over the years, isn't it, sir?
I must say, there were in BCCI, the first team that I remember which made a positive mark, was Mr. Dalmia and Mr. Bindra team. 1987, that ITC Cup, they went to the court and they won a case that BCCI will produce its own picture for television. That was a landmark day, landmark time when it changed the whole of Indian cricket. Money started coming from that television rights and all that. Then, of course, IPL came later on. Bindra, Dalmia, Mr. Scindia, mother of Scindia, was a very player-friendly president. But one of the finest and the biggest contributors to Indian cricket's growth was Sharad Pawar. Sharad Pawar, he introduced equipment. He saw the equipment in Mohali. He said, "Sabko de do." He started pension for old players. The concept of NCA came in. The constitution was revised. Indian constitution, board BCCI constitution was revised. A cricket center for the first time. A BCCI office came up in Mumbai. So he contributed the most. Thereafter to be followed by people like Mr. Srinivasan. Mr. Srinivasan, in his three assignments as treasurer, secretary, president, contributed a lot. He was the man who increased the pensions, who made it. If you played 25 matches so much, first class you played 50 so much, 75 so much, 100 so much, and one-time benefit to first-class players. He is the one who made it, and he has contributed a lot. There are other people, good secretaries like Sanjay Jagdale. He is the one who agreed to our suggestion to start courses, qualification courses for curators. Mr. Niranjan Shah, very proactive. Mr. Anurag Thakur, secretary, as a press secretary, as well as a president. There were people who worked for the benefit of the game. I think the only dark period of late I can think of is when those administrators were put from outside. I think that was a dark period of Indian BCCI. We really suffered at that time. So let's leave it at that. But somebody as a administrator who really contributed, and I wish they had treated him better, was Professor Ratnakar Shetty. Fantastic. He loved the game. He was strict. He was understanding. He would accommodate. He really ran it very well. I wish he had been the first COO. We would have been quite different. So he was one administrator I remember with a lot of fondness and respect and admiration.
Absolutely. But, sir, even COA, the committee you talked about, they also were little players friendly. They increased the fees of the players. A lot of things they did. They tried doing because there was a clash for sure. There was a clash. They wanted to bring in some changes. Their directive was that.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. I don't think they understood the game. Anyway, you talk of money. You see, that is something we can improve upon. The curators, the groundsmen are underpaid. I still can tell you some associations are paying their groundsmen 8,000, 10,000 for 12 hours of work every day. And it's a sad story, with 200 rupees kgs for dal, per kg dal, and for people manage, and nobody wants to spend money on curators and grounds. Somehow we have the psyche in India. I wish it improves. BCCI has done a lot. I'm sure people like Mr. Srinivasan will be there. And Ganguly is a very forward-looking young man. I hope he has a good long tenure. People like him will certainly change things. If our playing conditions improve, our standard will improve. and playing conditions will improve by good groundsmanship, by good curators. And we must do that. Look after our junior cricket, you know, uh, where juniors must play on bouncy hard pitches. So when they grow up, they don't carry any baggage of turning slow pitches and all that. India is doing very well abroad because our domestic cricket is played on good pitches now. You know, and another thing I can think of, which will make a big difference, is to create a soil data bank. Our soils are, India is such a vast country. Somewhere red soil, somewhere black soil, somewhere mixed soil. Our there is no research on soils. India is such a big country. We must do that. There must be a soil data bank and then research. See, there are other countries uh, who have done research in cricket and benefited everybody. England, Crampton University, 4-year research on rolling only rolling with the English board. You know, South Africans have done some research. New Zealanders have done some research. I think in India, cricket is so popular. It is such a love game. We must do research, must put some money in research that will pay us back. It will improve our standard, it will improve our knowledge, it will improve our methods. I think that will help.
So really, I mean, your vision, your understanding, your hard work, we are getting what we are getting right now in Indian cricket because the pitch conditions are good, the playing conditions are good. We are bound to get a good team. We have a good team right now, and we are on the verge of becoming invincible in world cricket. And thanks to you, Daljit sir, for guarding that 22 yards for 22 years. That's a very special number, and you have done a wonderful job, and people, you have left a huge imprint on Indian cricket, and I don't think anyone can come close to what you have achieved. And on that note, you came on the show and you spoke so passionately. We can go on and on, as you know, but you have to also get going for your little physical drills which you do, and I don't want to keep you away from it. And it was really
I
pleasure
must say,
having you.
I must have a say before I let you go. I am
Yeah.
blessed to have been associated with the game. I'm blessed.
No, absolutely, absolutely. We are all, and we also pass on some blessings to us also, so that we enjoy this game so much, and what we are enjoying because you put a lot of hard work over there. I've heard stories. I've heard stories about how you went early in the morning when it was raining and how looked after the ground like a baby. As I said, remarkable job, incredible job, sir, and thank you for being in Indian cricket and being such a great service you've done to the game. Really, really appreciate for coming on SK Live, sir. Thanks a lot, and stay safe, stay happy. We'll keep talking as we all do every day, and we will be in
Thanks.
touch, sir. Thanks a lot for coming on SK Live, sir.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.